Thanks to Card Market for sponsoring this video.
Hi, I'm Mark from StrataGames, and today we're doing something a bit different. This is a random buy video. I've been recently searching through Facebook Marketplace and some other sites for potential good deals on Magic cards that people are getting rid of, and I stumbled upon this lot. Now, I haven't done a lot of random buys in the past. I've only bought off Facebook Marketplace for Magic cards like 1 or 2 times, and usually played it a little safe. I think I bought a Teshar Commander deck for like $100, and it was pretty obvious there was like a good amount of value in there. So I wanted to start small. This is just 3 fat pack boxes, as you can see right here. Camera's a little close to them, but yeah, 3 fat pack boxes pretty much filled up with cards. I'll show the listing here, but it was just one picture of the 3 fat pack boxes with a very minimal description. It was $75 for all of them, and while that could be a really good deal, it could also just be all draft chaff in there, so I wasn't immediately sold that I wanted to buy this one. Now, obviously with a random buy, there is some risk involved. There's no guarantee that I'm going to get my money back, and I'm okay with that, but I also want to have some confirmation that there's maybe more than just a bunch of commons in here that are worth absolutely nothing, especially because 3 fat pack boxes is really not that much for $75. You can often get people selling like full 5-row boxes for like $20 if it is truly bulk. So anyway, I messaged the seller just to ask if there were any pictures that he could show of any cards in there to give me some indication of what was in there. I'm not looking for an itemized list. I'm not trying to make sure that I'm 100% getting my value back, but I figure even if he fanned out 5 cards picked randomly and then took a picture of those, if every single one was a common from Ixalan, then I would probably have a good indication this might be all draft chaff, whereas if the rarities and sets varied a little bit more, there'd be a bigger indication maybe there was something else going on. He said they were in the middle of moving. He didn't have any additional pictures. Somebody else gave these to him. He apparently plays Yu-Gi-Oh! They didn't know the difference, so they gave him Magic cards thinking that he could use them, which is another good indication that there might be some value in here, because if he didn't play Magic, then he wouldn't be as aware of all the value, potentially. He did say that a while ago he priced out everything in one box, and it was well over $150, and got bored and didn't price out the other boxes. I never assume people are lying. I assume that's probably true, but a while ago could have been 3 months, or it could have been 10 years, so cards could be vastly different in price from what they were then to what they are now, obviously in my favor or against me. It's also possible he priced out every single individual common, and it was all like 50-cent commons that did add up to $150, and then they all lost their value. In any case, I figured it was worth the risk. I did offer $60 instead, because I wasn't 100% sold that this was going to give me all my value back, to which he accepted. So, we got the 3 fat pack boxes. It's 2 of these Lost Caverns of Ixalan boxes, and then 1 of this Crimson Vow box. So that's a pretty good indication these cards are probably 3 to 4 years old, or at least the boxes. That means that it might be difficult to get a lot of expensive commander staples or reserve list cards or anything like that, but there's still plenty of valuable cards from the past few years. So without any further ado, let's jump into it with the first Lost Caverns of Ixalan box. I haven't taken a look at these at all, so it's going to be all new to me, so we'll see how things go. I will also say, since this is my first time making a video like this, if there's anything that I need to change if I make more videos like this as far as camera setup or anything, let me know. But for now, we'll just dive into it. So we got Combustible Gearhulk, and that's a mythic. Repercussion is a card that was worth something, I think, for a while. I'm going to be really bad with a lot of these prices unless it's a really well-known card. Sculpspore Nexus was worth quite a bit originally for Commander, so it probably is still pretty good. I'll be putting up prices and things like that on screen. Sphinx's Rev, I know. Fantastic card of old. Not really worth anything anymore, I don't think. We also have several cards from this Commander set. I actually don't know what Commander set that was. 2022? I feel like I should know what this was from, but there's so many Commander symbols that all look so similar. Mana Flare, I don't think that's going to be worth anything. Cursed Flesh, no. Blasphemous Act is a staple. I don't think it's worth more than $1 or $2 now that it's been printed so many times. Soul Shatter, I did sell a couple of these for like $4 or $5 recently from the original printing. I'm not sure if this one holds any value. Molten Echoes, a lot of these creature-based enchantments and things like that usually hold some value, so that one I know is a few bucks. Gravitational Shift should still be a little bit. I know that one went up for a while. Pennant of Prosperity. Reaver Cleaver. I'm pretty sure this is one of those cards that is like $15 or something, but like is not actually very good and no one ever plays it. Maybe I'm wrong. Dragon's Horde. Peregrine Dynamo. Torrential Gearhulk, good card. Pearl Medallion. I know the medallions went down a bit with this printing, but also with the Modern Horizons 3 printing, so I'm not sure if that's still worth anything. A lot of these cards used to be. A lot of the damage doublers used to be worth a bunch, but I don't think they're anymore. True Conviction used to be a a bit. Another Blasphemous Act. Third Blasphemous Act. I would say this is probably $250. Commander's Insignia. A lot of the cards that cared about each time you cast a commander were worth something, but I don't think this is it. Wow, I'm already feeling that I'm way out of my depth here, not knowing the prices of so many of these cards. Obviously, if I miss something, I'll probably be pricing a lot of cards, but if I miss something that you know is worth quite a bit, you know, you can let me know in the comments and I'll go back for it. Crucible of Fire, I think, used to be. Don't know if we're there yet. Chaos Warp's a staple, but maybe a buck or two. Dig Through Time, I'm pretty sure has fallen pretty far. I don't think that's worth anything anymore. Another Chaos Warp. Ooh, you know what else I'll be pulling out? Any Chris Ron cards. Chris Ron is my favorite artist from Magic, and I've been putting together a binder of all of his cards. I actually have this one already, and I always prefer the original printing if possible, but if I didn't have this one in any variation, I would pull that out. Deadly Tempest, Rain of the Pit, Fiery Confluence, Austere Command. I mean, good cards. I'm not sure they're worth anything. Sunbird's Invocation. When Commander really started popping off in, what, like 2018, 2019, this card was like $10. And for kind of good reason. It was an insane card. All the 6 mana, you can do a lot with that. It is not there anymore. Sword of the Chosen. I didn't know that this got a reprint from the original, like, Old Border one. Slate of Ancestry. I don't think that's worth anything. So many of these cards, I mean, clearly we're getting them from a Commander deck. They've been reprinted so many times, a lot of these are not worth anything anymore. There's another Chris Ron card. Big fan. I definitely have that one already, though. Solemn, Covetous Jewel. We have some more staples that probably are not holding their value. Sharding Sphinx. Alright, that was half of this. We have an OG in a sleeve. I don't know if that means this might be like a commander deck. I mean, it's not sleeved, and this is just a penny sleeve, so I think that's probably not super likely. Source to Plowshares, Generous Gift. It looks like that might have been mostly rares that we were looking through, and this might be uncommons and commons now. Doesn't mean there aren't good cards, though. Quite a few staples there already. Judma's Ire is a pretty good card. Impulse, I'll probably pull out in a different stack. Anything that's playable in Pauper. Being a Pauper player is absolutely fantastic for random buys, because then you just get any random little card that has any playability you can be at least a little happy over. Do I need another Impulse? Probably not. Am I going to put it anywhere? You know, I already have some that are sitting in a box, but it is playable, so I can pull it out for sure. Path, Bitter Triumph, Rowan's Grim Search. Counter Spell, I mean, that's a buck or two. And playable. That's great. Ghostly Flicker. Devouring Light is a card that I think would be really cool to see downshifted into Pauper. Convoke, exile attacking or blocking creature. I think it'd be pretty sweet. I mean, I guess Negate's technically playable, although, you know, I do have enough Negates, probably. Braid, Rector's Charm. Meeting of Minds. I actually need a couple Meeting of Minds, so that's nice. Tyvar's Stand was actually like a buck or two for a little while. I feel like that's probably not the case anymore, but... Oh, there's a Soul Ring. Some Signets. Hazaret's Monument was worth a little bit for a while. I was just looking this up. Decanter of Endless Water, I'm pretty sure this is like a $5 common or something. I saw that it was expensive and I looked through, and of course I had none in my collection. Now I guess we have one. Arcane Signet. Tenza was something for a little while. Although that might have been before the reprint. That was 4 years ago though, so I don't know if that's worth anything anymore. All the keys have to be worth something, right? Prism's playable. Bantu's Monument. I mean, this is a reprint, so I'm sure it went down a little bit. But again, this was several years ago. It's probably still worth something. Swiftfoot Boots, we have a bunch of Mind Stone Arcane Signets here. Swiftfoot. Catcher's Monument, probably not as valuable. Lightning Greaves, that's good. Up the Beanstalk. Band. Maybe still $1 or something for Legacy or other formats? I don't know. Hatching Plans. Curse of Opulence was like $10 for a little while. I don't think we're there anymore. Dragon Tempest was also worth a few bucks. Ooh, I mean, people like these lands. I don't mind them either, and it's a foil. It's probably worth something. Darksteel Mutation, Soul Snare. This is different art, different printing and everything, but this was originally printed in the first Commander deck, I believe. It was in the Gave Guru of Spores deck, I think, which my brother played, and so I had to deal with this card for a little while, and then I've never seen it played ever after that. Giruk's Uprising might be something. I mean, most of these are not, you know, even Soul Ring's obviously a good card. Most of these are not worth anything anymore, these other staples, but sometimes you can bundle them in a lot and sell them off that way. Ooh, Spelunking's a good card. More Signets, Thought Vessel, Token. Ooh, Nile's Spellbomb's a nice one. This is like a couple bucks, and it's highly played in Pauper. So I can always use more of those. More of these Mana Rocks. Lay Down Arms is another one I've heard people talk about as potentially being downshifted in Pauper. It'd be really cool. It'd probably only be playable in mono white, but White Weenie I think would love it. So I'd be a big fan of that. Another Faithless, not another. One Faithless is pretty good. Sleight of Hand, doesn't really see too much play anywhere. Maybe Canlander, which I do play a little bit. Tectonic Hazard is worth less than End the Festivities, but it's exactly the same in Pauper. It's Whisper, Vandal Blast, another Vandal Blast. Another Knight's Whisper. I mean, these not really playable in Pauper at this point, but... Ooh. Asinine Antics. Don't think that's worth anything as a mythic, but it is among all our commons and uncommons, which is interesting. Cultivate. Feed the Swarm. Mana Geyser's a couple bucks, I believe. Sign in Blood. That was the first box. Let's move on to the second Rivals of Ixalan box. Not Rivals of Ixalan, this is Lost Caverns. Got those mixed up. Path of Ancestry, Foreboding Ruins, Smoldering Marsh. I mean, ooh, Shizo. That's got to still be worth something, right? $8 is my guess. Temple of Malice. I mean, these are obviously budget. You know, it's the lands that came in this pre-con that they obviously had, but I still play some of these, so there's nothing wrong with them. They're definitely decent. These, less so. I'm probably not going to be playing any Timber Gorges in my decks. But Temple, Cinderglade, Command Tower, Castle Vantress. That's not bad. We got some basics here. Pretty decent art for some basics, though. Command Tower. Temple of Silence. Shivan Gorge. Man, I wish this was, instead of Shivan Gorge, it was the green or white card in this cycle. Maybe the blue one. Like Gaia's Cradle. Which is moderately better. Orzo Basilica is playable in Pauper, though. We'll throw that there. Same with Carnarium. We got a Temple. Another one of those Swamps. Not foil, but still very nice. Tyrate Sanctum, super underplayed card in Commander. Legendary creature becomes a god, get a counter, then you can make an indestructible god. I mean, if you're playing a god as your commander, this should already be in your deck probably, because you could just skip to the indestructible. Assuming it's not already an indestructible god. Like, I play this in the Ancient one, and it's phenomenal. Big fan of that card. Bajuka Bog. Can always use more of those for Pauper or Commander. You got options. Exotic Orchard. Holdout Settlement's also pauper playable. Path of Ancestry, Wandering Funeral, Eerie Landscape, Tainted Peak, Dragon Skull Summit. You know, not bad lands. Definitely not bad lands. Ash Barrens. Getting the sense there might just be a huge pile of basics here. Ooh, Foiled Restless Anchorage. That's a good card. Command Tower. I don't mind getting basics. There's nothing wrong with that. I would love for some basics with... I don't want to say better art and disparage these. But I definitely have some favorite basic land arts that I would love to see. Not even full arts, you know, just like Dominaria United, Johannes Voss land. Oh, beautiful. I generally like the lands that like contrast with the color. So like this land's good, nothing wrong with it, but like, you know, it's red on red, it's okay. But this one I actually really like because you got the blue contrast with the red. Big fan. Same reason I like the blue on that plains there. Do see more basics here. Hoping this whole box isn't almost entirely basics. Game Trail, Shadowblood Ridge. Even, like I said, even a lot of these lands, like, they're not worth that much, but they're playable. Nothing wrong with that. Terrain Generator. Used to be a couple bucks. I'm not sure it is anymore. Land that can help ramp you for 3 mana. Put a basic onto the battlefield from your hand. Another Carnarium and a Boilerworks. Unclaimed Territory was a little bit for a little while. Probably past that though. Mikakoru could still be $2. Reliquary Tower is good. Speaking of contrasting colors, I mean, I know purple is kind of the magic color for a lot of black stuff, but purple on swamps is just always one of my favorites. Last stack from this box number 2 here. Definitely looks to be a lot of basics. Not a bad one there, though. Ooh, there we go. Some nice color. Definitely just the lands box, but obviously not quite in the way that we would hope. Obviously any shocks or anything like that would be fantastic in here, but it doesn't look like much beyond basics and pre-con lands. Another Anchorage and the best land in Commander. Better than Ancient Tomb. I mean, it doesn't make you lose life after all. On to the Crimson Vow box. This is our last box. Not feeling too confident in what we have so far, but let's see if we can make it up in this last box. Have some adventure creatures here from various sets. I mean, there's a lot of good Baldur's Gate uncommons and commons, so not a terrible sign. Mosswood Dread Knight's not a bad card, playable in some formats. Also a rare. Good to know we have some more rares in here. Fyrk Rag. I mean, foil mythic. We'll check it out. I'm not sure about that one being worth anything, but I think we're pulling most of these rares out. Diluvian Primordial Necropolis Regent was a little bit for a little while. Not sure that's still the case. Inspired Sphinx, I think, might have been 2. Order White Clay. Astral Dragon. I just sold an Astral Dragon for about 20 bucks. It's probably lightly played, but that's probably our best hit so far. Seems pretty good. That is... Ooh, Hullbreaker Horror is good too. I think this one's like 4 right now, but still a good hit. Merciful Cleric, Windreader, Sphinx. Got a bunch of flyers here. Ooh, Lunarch Veteran, of course, Pauper Staple. Myria Angel. Loyal Guardian, I think, was a little bit for a little while, but probably not anymore. Hornet Nest. Mentor the Meek. unfortunately. Bulk, I love that card, but Cemetery Protector, I doubt is worth anything. Photographer's Hawk, probably the same. Eternal Witness, always good. Probably $2. More adventure guys. Kenku Artificer, Pauper playable. Rash Taunter, I think, was worth a little bit for a little while. Not confident that's still the case. Just get Decaphile Foil. Bundle Foil? Oh, yeah, I guess this is a different art, isn't it? Probably not worth anything, but we'll check it out. Hey, look at that. Tolarian Terror. That's 50 cents, and a staple that I could always use more of. Hornet Queen, I don't think that's worth anything anymore. Ooh, Welcoming Vampire might be a couple. Let's say 250. Blood Tithe Harvester is playable in some formats. Ooh, we got some tokens here from the precons. I love tokens. Tokens are fantastic, and I'll probably keep any of these that I don't have the arts for. But often the ones out of the precons are a little bit easier to find, so probably have a fair number of these. And there are tokens that are worth some money, but again, probably not from the precons. Midnight Arsonist. Scourge of Valkis, probably not worth anything anymore. These are a lot of dragons here. Chaos Dragon, why do I feel like this was worth something? I could be totally wrong, but let's say $8. Probably wishful thinking. A lot of dragons here, though, from different decks, different commander decks and things like that, so definitely someone had a dragon deck going on. Horde Smelter. Dragonlord Servant. Is this the one that's... There's a lot of these cards that are like X cost X less that are quite a few. I know the Kaldheim one that makes Angels cheaper is like an $8 uncommon, because it wasn't from the main set, so that makes sense. But it's this, or maybe there's a dragon one that costs... Maybe there's one that makes dragons cost 2 less that is worth like a couple bucks. I don't know. Atali. Definitely not worth anything anymore. Ooh, Kiga. Tide Star. Probably not valuable either, but cool one. Thundermaw Hellkite. I was literally just recommended a standard match from like 2013 of Brian Kibler on Gruul with Thundermaw Hellkites versus Reed Duke on Jund, and it was super cool. Brian Kibler crushed Reed Duke because he played Thundermaw Hellkite to tap down Reed's Olivia like 3 turns in a row. And it was really good. I don't think this is worth anything, but that's pretty cool. Oh, that's the one I was talking about. Dragon spells cost 2 less. This guy is probably worth something, if not the other guy. Jetmir. Jetmir could definitely be valuable. Let's say $6. Some of this is wishful thinking. Some of this is... I really don't know how much it is, and, you know, could be. Timothar. Foil. Although that might always be foil, because this is from one of the decks. I don't know if that's worth anything. Zool, Josu Ves, Nirkana Revenant. Didn't realize this got a reprint. The old one, unless it was tanked by this reprint, was worth a lot for a while. This one still might be worth something. We'll check it out. Tarka World Render. This definitely feels like the right box to go third. Got some good hits so far. Sign of Opulence. We definitely have had this Falconwrath Vampire deck as well. In here, Bloodlord of Vaskoth. I remember when this guy first came out, and he was worth a bit, I think, but that was a long time ago. Avatar of Slaughter. Blood Artist, always worth a little bit. Probably. Amber Kaya. I saw Planeswalker and was hoping it was a little more exciting than that. That's okay. Macias, the Lunarch. Don't think that's probably worth anything at this point. I'm pretty sure Cutsel's a couple bucks. Even a version like that. Goose Mother could be good too. Tetsuko. Mahadi. I think I was just looking at Baldur's Gate, and this is like, you know, a couple bucks for an uncommon, not bad. Sarkhan. I feel like none of these Planeswalkers are probably worth anything anymore. Rafik of the Many. I did not know Rafik got a reprint in this treatment. Did Rafik get a reprint in this treatment? Because it's still the original set symbol. The card feels a little flimsy, and all of the text is really blurry. So, is this like a proxy? Or a custom? I mean, custom card kind of a thing? I don't know. I mean, it's cool. Check that out for sure. Agatha. Not her Soul Cauldron, though, unfortunately. Scooz, always good. Jewel Thief is playable. Ledger Shredder. Ooh. Maybe lightly played, but that's got to be a good hit. Is that $8? Champion of Lambholt. I had just another one of these I was pricing out earlier that was like $2, so maybe something. Hornlock Whale in Standard, maybe? I don't know. I already have so many Cruel Somniphage. This is a card that I really like. I actually play one of it in my Ancient One deck, but I have like 6, and I only have one of those decks, so. Alright, we are on to the last little box here. There's a lot of, it looks like maybe white border cards or maybe just poorly conditioned cards, so I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign. Goblin Tomb Raider. Pauper playable. Blood Token. Pauper playable. Tomb Raider. Oh, these are every which way. Gutter Snipe. Rash Taunter. Dahada. This is the thick card, so I don't think this is probably worth anything. I don't know if the actual Dahada's worth anything either. Probably, but I might as well check. Will Kenrith. I mean, decent Planeswalker. Could be something. Bring Her the Last Gift. Wasn't this like some standard combo card? I don't know. It's probably not anything now. Kedrick, Drana, Straffen, Cuthved, Baluna, Grand Squall, Gorian, Cardur, Shadowgrange Archfiend. I feel like this guy's worth a little bit, because I actually remember thinking about picking one up because I have a Exile Matters cube and with a Madness theme, and I thought about picking one up, but I think it was like $4 or something. Bonehorde Drakasar. Probably not worth anything anymore. Is Ixalan even still in Standard? We're in 2026 and we have a 3-year Standard, so no? I have no idea. Thunderfoot Baloth. I don't think that's worth anything anymore. Bartolome. Fun card I play in Alesha. Really, really good there. Selfless Spirit. It's got to not be worth very much anymore, but maybe still a couple bucks. Sakura Tribe Elder. I don't think I've seen this art. That's a staple. My piles have kind of just like deteriorated. I don't know exactly what everything is. Ooh, Thunder Dragon. This is a Chris Ron card. In fact, I believe this is the first Chris Ron card ever. Not this printing, of course. It was the... I can't remember. It was some promo for something. But with this art, it's like the big X with like a bubble or something. But I actually need this for my Chris Ron collection. Of course, I need to get the original art or original printing as well. But for now, this will slot right in there. Butcher of Malakir. I remember when that was worth a bunch. Don't think that's anymore. Ooh, Adam Pakal, another Chris Ron card. This one I actually have, but I think might be worth a couple bucks too. Rocco. CEDH. I don't know if I want to say All-Star. Playable. I actually have a Vol Commander deck too. This is a really sweet one. Vol paired with Raised by Giants, so you make her toughness 10, and she taps for 10 mana. Really sweet. We have another foil Fear Crag. Well, that doesn't necessarily speak to this one being a very valuable card. I'll still have to check it. If it is, that's great to have too, but if not, you know, who cares? Anya's Ravager. This might be another one that I needed for my Madness cube. Can't remember. Lagrella the Magpie. I've been making shorts, funny shorts and things like that for a while. I mean, I don't make them as much anymore, but this is one that I had a fun time making one of because her text box is so confusing that a lot of people got tripped up over it. Ooh, we also got Rowan Kenrith, and we did get the Dahada. Again, I'm not sure if this is valuable, but I feel like I remember seeing her at like $7 or something. Rowan, I don't know. This Neheb I don't think was ever crazy expensive. Not like the other one. This is also the only Neheb that's not Chris Ron. The other two are. So I don't need that one. Baloth. My buddy has a Baloth deck. Pretty cool. Also with Raised by Giants to make it so everything's goated. Brutaclad, Cool Card, Ruby, Ashling. Bunch of tokens. Fellwar Stone. Honor-worn Shaku was worth a bunch for a while, I think. Not anymore, but some talismans are good. Commander Sphere, Soul Ring, Talisman, Arcane Signet. More tokens. Always love an emblem. Some emblems are really hard to find. Probably not the Commander one, or the Precon ones, that is. Oh, Tristani Discordant hiding among our tokens here. Alright, last little bit. I don't think we've gotten a steal here, but with the Astral Dragon and the Ledger Shredder, I think I'm probably pretty happy with what we've gotten. Ooh, this is hilarious. I mean, put aside the Goldberry. I've already mentioned some of the commanders I run. These are two more commanders that I run. Well, I already mentioned Alesha, but having them right side by side is really funny because these are both some of my favorite commanders. Really, really fun ones. I think I already have both of these versions. Well, not this simple necessarily, but yeah, pretty sweet. More tokens. Ooh, foil Steadfast Unicorn. I don't think that's probably worth anything, but that is pauper playable. Since Pilgrim's good too. Elusive Otter. I don't know if this is worth anything, but it's, I think, playable in Standard. Eldrazi Spawn. Need those for a lot of formats nowadays. Another foil Timothar. Cutsoul. Ooh, 2 Cutsouls. That's 3 total. Like I said, I'm pretty sure this guy's worth a few bucks. 3 is my guess. Thermo Alchemist. Good card for, well, decent card for Pauper. Shaunid. Very good commander. Another Fear Crag. This must have been one of the commanders of a Precon. I guess I didn't know that. I mean, Goblin Lord might actually be worth a little bit something. Ulmux Crusher's cool. Breaches. Like I said, I'm not sure I'm confident that this was an incredible buy or anything, but a couple valuable cards, and I'd be surprised if we didn't make it over $60 for what we got. How much I can actually make off of it, because of course there's fees and things like that. Who knows? But I'm going to add up some of these prices, and then I'll be back for a quick wrap-up. Well, you already know this because I was editing in the price as we went along, but I actually did a lot better on this lot than I thought that I did. I certainly was noticing that I probably made my money's worth and a little bit more, but I didn't really realize how much value there was in here. Total around $400 worth of value, and that's excluding anything under $2. There's plenty of $1 cards, including a lot of Soul Rings and other staples like that, that I can probably put together as a lot and sell and still make a little bit of money off of. I'm just going to show off the highlights here. Most importantly, we got 3 new additions to the Chris Ron binder in Ob Nixilis Eternal Witness and that Thunder Dragon. None of them are original printings, so I'll still be searching for those, but these will be nice placeholders for the time being. Then moving on, here we have stacks of cards that are worth $2, $3, $4, 5+, and then 10+. So we'll just briefly look through here. As I mentioned, some great Pauper staples here, but also just a lot of other solid $2 cards, some of which are playable in various commander decks. Mostly these are commander cards. Some cards that you'll see quite a bit. There's actually another version of Vandal Blast that's in a higher dollar rarity. And so every once in a while, if I find a card that I want to play, I'll definitely keep it, like I will with this Spellbomb and Counterspell. But the majority of these are probably just going to get resold. These are the $3 cards. That Decanter was $3, still a lot more than you'd think for a random common. Not quite as much as I thought it was going to be. 2 Cutsols were $3 here. That True Conviction was actually a little bit after all. Chaos Dragon was 3 and some change. Reliquary Tower, of course, always pricey. I think this one was just over $4 here. Safara, Lightning Greaves, that Soul Shatter. A couple cards from these commander decks that I totally missed. I did look up both of these commander decks just to make sure that I got all of the valuable cards out of them, since it seemed like we had basically the entirety of the Dahada commander deck and the Streffen one. There's a couple more valuable cards that we'll get to, but some nice $4 ones here. The Elemental Bond, I passed. I almost thought about saying something because I was pretty sure it was worth something, but I thought maybe it had gone down or something. Bladewing and Krenko and that Mukikoru, all in the $4 range. Then $5 and up. I was super surprised to see Oketra's Monument is still up here. I knew Bantu's Monument and Hazoret's Monument were both a little bit. Was surprised about this one. Stuffy Doll, one I didn't even mention, was interesting. They're kind of Revenant. This is the $5 to $10, so some of these go up pretty quickly. And that Frierkrag, which we do have 2 of, I was lucky. They actually are about $6, so nice to have 2 of them at that price. Chris Ron, of course. Bantu's Monument. Ledger Shredder, Skull Spore, and Jet Mirror. I believe this was about 8, 9, and just under 10. And then the big hits you will have seen as I went through, but Repercussion was about $10. I knew that was something. Glad to see it there. Reaver Cleaver was 10-ish as well. Bonehorde Dracosaur was a lot more than I thought, sitting around 13-ish, I think. That Dahada was a bit, and Baloth. I did not realize this guy was actually worth anything. I knew he was a cool commander, but maybe it's just the foil version. No, actually, I think even the regular version was quite a bit too. Molten Echoes, a lot more than I thought. I'm pretty sure I have a couple of these sitting around in a bulk box. I knew they were $2 or $3, maybe 4 or 5, but this one was 15-ish, which is pretty crazy. The Bothersome Quaset, I'm sure some people yelled at their screen when I passed this as well, because I did not realize this was worth any money. I think it was 18 or so. Astral Dragon, like I mentioned, and then Shizo was our best hit. I think I guessed $8, and it was about $38. So quite a bit more than I thought, which obviously contributes to us making some great value here. If I knew the value of this lot was going to be about $400 without the bulk and other $1 cards, I wouldn't have haggled. I would have gone for just the $75 that they offered. I did make out very well, but you never know. It could have just easily been a lot of draft chaff or cards that used to be valuable that weren't anymore. Overall, though, for my first random buy, pretty happy with the result. I hope you enjoyed watching. If you have any suggestions at all for future videos like this, please let me know, as I would love to make more videos like this, assuming I can actually find some more cards to look through. Thanks for watching. I want to thank real quick my $10 and up supporters like Howard Granger, JDNPX, Halkaz, Cody Cowell, Sty, Benedict, and DJ Vinyl. I really appreciate the support, and I will see you all next time.